my name is Melissa O'Rourke, and as David introduced me, I am the presidential candidate for your 2013-2014 school year. I'm a third-year student here at Mount A. I'm an international relations major with minors in environmental studies and history, and I really want to be your president. I've actually drafted this really beautiful 7-page document, which I'm really hoping that everyone in the audience has taken the time to read. Unfortunately, I only have 5 minutes, and I timed it the other day. It takes exactly 47 minutes for me to talk about the entire thing. There's 18 points in it, so it takes a while. But there are a couple things that I do want to highlight in terms of what's actually within the actual document. For me next year, I think that with the SAC and with the MASU and everything, the direction that we really need to take is a building year. We really need to start working on a framework so that we can follow through on our promises in the future. I find a lot with these elections, what ends up happening is people get up here and they're going to give you a lot of really amazing, sparkly promises, and they're going to get into the job and realize that, oh wow, that has absolutely nothing to do with what my job is about. Or B, they realize that I can't actually follow through on that promise within the next year because we don't have the proper framework in place right now to make that happen. So what I want to do next year is a building year. I want to make sure that in the future, when we make these promises to you, and there's people who make these wonderful, genuine promises, that they can actually make them happen, and that the MASU is actually offering you the best service that we possibly can. So that's my main goal for next year. I really want to focus on internal governance. I want to focus on what's going on within the union internally so that we can make sure that in the future we're offering you the best return on your investment. Now that's not very sexy, and I know that's not very sexy, but it's what I'm about. I'm kind of a policy geek. But I've got a lot of other stuff in here that I want to work on as well. One of them has to do with campus health. The health and dental plan is a big thing that I want to work on next year. I was actually one of the people who helped bring the health and dental plan on campus when I was in my first year. Next year it needs to be reviewed. We need to take a look at the data and make sure that what we're offering students is exactly what students need. And that's something that we need to look at next year. Also the opt-out checks, maybe we should put them online. Wouldn't that be nice? Another thing that I want to do next year, especially under the external portfolio, is take a look at municipal relations, make sure that we're building a better relationship with the town, maybe have some students on some town committees so we keep building those relations. Academic, what is a course? I really believe that we can offer reading week courses next year. It's something that I really like to work on with VP Academic, assuming everyone votes yes, and to keep building upon that and look towards that in the future. Finance and operations, take a look at some grants and bursaries. Also, budget transparency. We have a 2-page budget right now. I'd really like to look on that and make sure that in the future things get better. Anyways, that's kind of who I am. That's kind of who I'm about. If you want to read my document, I really recommend that you do. And I hope that on February 6th and 7th, you'll consider me for your MASU candidate, presidential candidate. Please vote. If you want to visit my website and see this document, it is MEL4Pres with a Z.webs.com. Thanks so much, guys.
Hi, friends. Thank you so much for coming out this evening, braving the shitty weather. But I'm glad you did. I'm really glad you're here. I'm glad we can chat. Like David said, my name is Ryan Harley, and I'm running to be Mount Allison Students' Union's Vice President in Academic Affairs. I've sat on Senate, on University Senate for 2 years now as a student senator for the arts faculty, and I'm really looking forward to the opportunity to work for you as an executive of your students' union. Next year, or really what I've been campaigning with, I have 3 primary goals. The first of which is I'm going to be looking to exhaust every possible avenue to make Reading Week courses a reality at Mount Allison. Now, for me, I have a hard time seeing the difference between a Reading Week course and a correspondence course or an independent study, because good Reading Week courses, so much of the preparation and reading happens before the instruction begins. The instruction happens in a week's time, the instruction and the discussion, but that's not the entire learning experience. It's not intensive learning, it's intensive instruction. So for me, because most of your evaluated work happens after the fact, I don't see a big difference between Reading Week courses and correspondence courses, because I see the intensive instruction as a surrogate for the lecture notes that you get in your correspondence pack. So I'm going to be looking to facilitate the discussion between our faculty, deans, and the faculty that want to offer these kind of courses next year. That's going to be my big political goal next year. Second, which is more of a service goal, is that I'll be looking to draft and write a student charter of rights. Many student unions offer these, and it's been bouncing around the academic affairs portfolio for a few years now, but I'd really like to see it through. This will take the governing documents of the university and pick out that information which is relevant to students and student life and put it in a concise and clear document for your reference that's easily accessible, widely accessible, so that if you're looking to appeal a grade, if you've had an emotional or academic crisis, this document can kind of guide you in what is available to you. But on top of that, I would really like to offer consulting along with this document, and I think we could do that by making use of the Mount Allison Student Union's ombuds person, who in their terms of reference it says, this person is there to guide students to the appropriate avenues, the appropriate boards and committees of the university where they can do such things as appeal their grade, etc. So coupling those things, I think it's a really, I've been saying a very intimate and personal kind of student advocacy that I think our union should and could offer. And I'm really excited about seeing that through, if elected. And finally, I will be looking to make the MASU your one-stop for all things MCAT LSAT prep. Because we're such a small school, we're an undergraduate school, we're kind of separated from the discourse because we're not a graduate school about these popular prep exams, these popular graduate exams. So I think this is a place where as a student union we can really step up where the university isn't performing. I'm going to be looking to partner with some major publishers that produce this prep material and have that available to members as an electronic resource, and hopefully have skill sessions and mock interviews held, coupled with these kind of partnerships that other student unions have made before. I'm running a little short on time. I will say also that next year, this year moving into next year, the student union will be, the Mount Allison Faculty Association will be renegotiating their contract with the university. So I will be, in part, seeing that our recommendations to this negotiation process are well heard, are widely known, and I will be very vocal about our best interests during that process. And also, as I hope any incoming executive will do, I will be looking to better the current services that
10 seconds.
The Mount Allison Student Union currently provides, and in my case, the academic services. So thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you coming out, and while I am the only candidate running, I hope you vote yes, but if you feel as though I'm unqualified, I encourage you and welcome no votes.
Hi guys, thank you all for coming out tonight. So as David said, I'm Heather Webster, and I'm very excited to be running for the position of VP Campus Life. So just to give you a little bit of background information about who I am, I am a second year studying psychology and political science, and in my first year I was my residence representative on council, and then this past year I've stayed involved in council by sitting on committees while being the senior RA in Hunton House. So I have a really good mix of campus life and council knowledge and experience, which would be very beneficial for this role. So over the past few weeks, I've been trying to meet with as many students as possible to find out what it is that you guys want to see from the next VP Campus Life. And what I have found is they're the same few things that keep coming up over and over again. So if elected, I have 3 main goals for the upcoming year. However, I'm aware that there are definitely going to be other things that come up, partly through getting feedback from you guys, and so I'm willing to take on those projects as well. So I started out by meeting with the head RAs and presidents from each residence and asking them what they wanted to see. And what I found was that they wanted to see a more supportive and present MASU executive within the residence community. They wanted to see more of a connection there, and I definitely think this is a good way to start communicating with students. And so the way I'd like to see this happen is by seeing the MASU executive assist with residence exec training in August and September, by asking the residences what it is that the people living there actually want to see in the way of events, which may mean putting on events like those that we had during Frosh Week throughout the year, and finally being more involved during residence orientation and international orientation. My second main goal is to ensure that the security project is not dropped, but rather is accelerated. It's excellent that we've been collecting feedback from students here at Mount A about what kind of security measures they want to see, and by collecting data from other schools about what they do. But I think the key to this project is making it happen quickly, because it's not acceptable that there are students on campus who do not feel safe here, and we need to start even with the little things as soon as possible. Finally, I want to explore how we can improve healthcare at Mount Allison. I would like to investigate how we can improve accessibility to healthcare professionals through the Wellness Center. However, I don't think it's just the Wellness Center that needs to be improved. There needs to be an increase in awareness and support for mental health, and for the services and projects, like the one happening upstairs right now, that are already in place, there needs to be an increase in awareness for those as well. And, of course, I'll be pushing for reimbursement from the health and dental checks to be done online rather than having to come to the Student Center to pick up your checks. And I will be supporting the implementation of a new health and dental plan a new health plan for international students. So I'm very excited by the prospect of being your next VP Campus Life. Be sure to check out my Facebook event. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to send me a message on Facebook or just stop me on campus. Thank you very much.